when Cowboy pulls the knife on Anthony, it was cracking me up how he's like he's got him down, but he like keeps checking, see if Kirby can see.
I want to go ahead and kind of discuss that. The opening starts with, again, we're not going into scenes or anything, but I just want to discuss the opening. If you notice, the one thing I truly love, and this one I knew, you didn't have to tell me, the Hughes brothers, the Blues brothers, it didn't matter who made the film. I knew attention to detail was starting from the very opening of the film. If you notice, the opening starts with the burning of money, which is ironically illegal in the United States. So they're letting you know right now that whoever is doing this or whoever in this film is going to be a rebel. Yeah. They're a rebel against the machine, and I love that. And actually, the film is again foreshadowing the rebellion of things to come. Also, it was also twofold. If you notice, they also went in and as they're going through these dollar bills that they're destroying, which is illegal. They're also, if you kind of catch it, remember there's always been all these theories about what's on the dollar bill, this, that, and the other.
Where it revealed the other one's face underneath it.
Well, no, not only that. No, when they were showing the all-seeing eye and the little corner with the little spiders in the web and the air holding the arrow 13, they were going in there. So it's almost like, hey, I know what's going on, but I'm not going to tell you I know what's going on. You got to actually catch it. Yeah. And I love the fact that they taught about, see, all you people out there nowadays, and as I said, you people, you know the lottery. But one thing you would not know if you're not from our culture, there was a certain thing before the lottery called running numbers. They were running numbers. That was your lottery, if you will, but it wasn't being taxed. It was only being taxed by one person, should I say, or whoever was running the numbers. So that was beautiful. They got that aspect right. And then the beautiful part that I love about this film, a lot of films have done this before, but I don't really see it in, I would say, in our urban culture, when urban culture is talked about in films. Every film a war film I had seen, at least that was predominantly had white people coming home, they always came home to a parade. They always came home to the VA, the checks, money, and everything. This film so accurately showed you without telling you, hey, we didn't get shit when we got back. You were probably wondering, wait a minute, he just got back. Why doesn't he have all this money? Why does he have to struggle and look for a job? Well, because even though they told us we can go fight now, they also didn't have anything set up for us when we came home from fighting. So therefore, they touched on that so beautifully. It's like, and if you did come home with money, you wound up like Skip. Hey man, some shit got into me over there. Yeah. He said, how you pull 50% medical? So again, to me, it is the tone of this film that really, you can tell they really vetted things out, and there was no corners cut, and they really, to me, and like I said, again, if I just want to discuss the film, that's the type of film I want to watch, where they really, like you just said, make it the backdrop. Mm-hmm. Don't put it in my face. Don't wave it in my face. Let me feel like, wait a minute, I want to ask those questions. Honey, wait a minute, you were in the army, honey. Why didn't he get what you got when he came home? You know, honey, he probably don't even know why, but it exists. So that's my discussion on that.
It arguably makes it more powerful to just make it like a passing thought, because then you're like, what did he just say? And then it makes you want to look into it more. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a historian or anything, but I think that was the general consensus for everybody coming back from Vietnam, because the 60s and the hippie movement happened, and no anti-war, like World War II, we were like the heroes, and people that came back from the war, they were like highly regarded. But I think a shift happened in America while Vietnam was happening. By the time the soldiers got back, America,
you heard what Martin Sheen says,
turned on them.
Don't tell me so I was in the real war. I'm like, well, okay, shit.
Yeah, like even veterans aren't respecting
right. Damn,
what happened over there. I don't know enough about that to talk on it, but I don't think that was like, I'm sure it was harder for black people, because life in general was harder for black people, especially around that time. But I think the general consensus was soldiers, no matter what color they were not really taken care of in any way when they got back.
They weren't taken care of, but at least they were still considered soldiers. You have to understand or you have to at least acknowledge what happened is, because we come back home, you have to realize, like, again, there wasn't too many people from the white community that said, hey, no, don't go fight for your country. It's people from our community that's like, you heard Cowboy said, I think y'all was some damn fools going over there fighting that white man's war. Yeah. Now you got that from home. Then you get there, you got the Chinese people saying, this ain't your war. Like, well, God damn it, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, they're getting it from both angles.
Right. So it's like you want to come back home and you want to be proud to be African American. You want to be proud to fight for your country. But then you noticed it, like it almost not a face-off feel. I'm just saying it because we recently brought it up in Face-Off when Castor Troy, when he didn't mean to kill the kid at the beginning, he just meant to kill John Travolta's character. Mm-hmm. You see how it's affecting Lorenz Tate's character when he's in Vietnam. You see him looking around at the little kids rolling around with the little hats on and this, that. It's really fucking with him. Like, God damn, like I'm killing these people. Like they're people just like we are. They don't say it. It's just the background. They leave it open to interpretation.
And it's really just a single shot when they're sitting in the bar, and he's
over.
Yeah, he's stuck on the kid.
Yeah.
Going back to the opening credits, Danny Elfman's score is so great in the whole thing, but I love the theme over the opening credits. I think it perfectly lets you know what kind of movie you're about to get into, because it has like the adventure heist element to it, like the fast pace, but then it has this like I don't know what sound he was using, but it was like this like reoccurring sound that would keep coming up that had this like darkness to it that made you. I think it perfectly summed up what you're about to get into.
I felt like I had heard it before or something similar, but again, it starts there. And then, but like I say, it lets, put it this way, I think you put it perfectly. There's no need for me to elaborate on it. He really did such a good job of drawing you in, and then you're almost ready for the heist to happen as soon as the movie starts. You think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like you see them down there, before you know it, story. It basically says, this is where we're at. How do we get here?
Yeah.
Pump the brakes, bitch.
Anthony Curtis, Lorenz Tate, he reminded me of Ace in Paid in Full.
I can see it.
Like the way it, because this was even to me more so than this being a film about the war or about the 60s or about a heist. It was a character journey. It was about him, and it was like a tragedy because it follows you. Like at the beginning, you could even tell like he was I was kind of iffy on his acting at the beginning, playing like the goody two shoes.
Oh no way! I won't do that.
The naive, the innocent, like I felt like that was a little bit of stretch for him. But to watch his like a very seamless transition that kind of happens before your eyes, him go from that cookie cutter character that we see in the first 15-20 minutes before he goes to the war, before he Ferris Bueller's into the war.
You don't know, girl. You really don't know.
That's the whole point of the story and how the Hughes brothers set it up. They didn't have to throw it in your face. It makes you ask yourself,
throwing a chair at the judge at the end. Like I could never picture
him
when you give me a movie and if I were to just skip to the end of the movie and then go to the beginning, be like, how the fuck does that guy end up becoming that guy? But in the course of 2 hours, they take you through a hero's journey.
Correct.
Of him becoming this, like, he's kind of like an anti-hero.
If I know we didn't cover it, we were supposed to cover the movie and we didn't, but a soldier story. This truly is a soldier story. And like you say, that's the beautiful part about it, to what you were saying from earlier. And I want to keep bringing up the Hughes brothers because they did such an excellent job. You mentioned it. The first 15, 20 minutes before he goes to war, I won't say it was a stretch of the imagination for his acting, because I've seen a lot of his films, but I will say this. I see where you're coming from. You're like, okay, whatever. But it is night and day as it should be. When he's in war, he is changed. So what they're trying to tell you is, look at what war did to him.
Yeah.
Without saying it, without propaganda in your face. War did that to him.
But you see how it was kind of like Ace, because Ace also was like the straight character. He was kind of a little bit more reserved than the supporting roles in the movie, and all this chaos kind of ensues around him that forces his hand into this situation that
I'll just say this: Ace ran his operation a lot better than Anthony did. We'll get there later. All right, so yeah, guys.
Did you see what I fucking did? I got a few more talking points here.
Okay. So do I. Go ahead.
Kirby. Okay, so Kirby would get along really well with Leroy from People Under the Stairs.
Oh yeah.
Shit, fuck the dumb shit. You want to drive or what?
Maybe the president is gonna make me secretary of pussy.
That scene with Kirby and Anthony in the car reminded me a lot of Scene Stealer, Brandon Quentin Adams and Ving Rhames sitting in the van.
Have you ever seen a movie where a prosthetic leg is just riding in front of a car and nobody makes mention of it whatsoever? It's just there.
I have a note about that for sure.
Okay.
When Cowboy pulls the knife on Anthony, it was cracking me up how he's got him down, but he like keeps checking, see if Kirby can see.
Shut your motherfucking mouth, man. I'll cut you.
You ever, like, I'm an older brother, so I know that look when you're like fucking with your little brother.
He can't even enjoy it all the way because he's looking.
Dude, he's such a good actor.
He really is. He really is. What really another one of my talking points was, again, and we'll get into this later. Like, again, most people have only seen Chris Tucker make them laugh, and that's what I kept telling you when you saw this. You actually can see Chris Tucker get to act in this film. He at the end, when they're getting ready to do the robbery, he is nervous as shit across the street smoking that fucking cigarette. I'd have just knew something was going on. He was just
and there was something really artistic about that shot, the placement of him, because it seemed like that the dirt that he was standing on, it was like he was back in the shit in a weird way. Did you notice that shot where it just showed his feet? And they're in an urban area, but he's standing on this dirt mound in the middle of the street, seemingly.
Nah, I would like to give him credit, because if they actually went that far into detail to where they're not even showing you in his mind he's back in the war, even though he's not, that's beautiful. I've never noticed
like
that.
Boots on the ground.
Yeah, now I'm thinking it was just there, but if they went that deep,
I don't think so. It seemed like there'd be a lot of symbolic imagery being played with in this on a really subtle level. When Cleon goes postal and he lops off the dude's head in the war.
Oh man, what the fuck?
That would have been a perfect Snickers commercial. The dude literally asks him, "You hungry or something, Cleon?"
No. You got yours, I'll get mine.
You hungry or something, Cleon?
Then, like 15 minutes later, days later in their journey, he's still holding on to that head. And
in fairness, he was right. Ain't nobody got a splint or anything.
Yeah, it's good luck. Well, and then when he buries it, he's like, "We're in a world of shit now, boy. I just buried our luck."
Were they not?
We're in a world of shit now. I just buried our luck.
I mean, technically, at any moment in the war, shit could have gone wrong. I don't think that was not too coincidental. I really appreciated the line, though, man. It smells like a sack full of assholes.
Fuck you, man. It stinks like a sack full of assholes.
We'll talk about this later, though, but again, it's the exact reverse for Cleon. See, he was already in the war since 66, and see how he was when he came home? Yet again, the war is the common denominator. Keep going.
Yeah, we kind of touched on this, that it's fucked up how you go to fight for the country and come back and struggle to survive. And this legitimately pissed me off when Anthony gets caught. It was such overkill. How many, like, you saw
all the cops there. Not only all the cops there, even when he went down to his knees, they're pointing their gun like, bro.
So and they even did the overhead shot to really illustrate, like, look how they got him covered now. But when he came back from the war and needed help, needed some kind of assistance, like when you go and you fight for your country and you come back and it's like your country doesn't even realize you exist until you commit a crime, then all of a sudden you get a shining example of the resources that they have available to take care of you.
Since we're wearing this makeup, I think it'd only be right to quote Heath Ledger in his role as the Joker when he says, "See, if I tell you some gangbanger is going to do this today, it's all a part of the plan. But as soon as I say this, everybody goes all crazy." That's what it is.
That's why I was so glad that he flipped out on the judge, because what he said to the judge was my sentiments exactly after that moment when he got caught. Like, what the fuck, man? This is fucked up. I fought for this country.
And he said, "I didn't mean for these people to die."
Already
he did
10 years of life. I already gave my life to this country.
Yeah. And then fucking Martin Sheen, "I had a Purple Heart too." Are we comparing Purple Hearts now?
Take a fucking chair.
I'm like, man, fuck you.
He threw that chair.
And in fairness, that was a very accurate throw. That was very good. Like,
Martin Sheen jumped out of the way like George. You see that shot of George Bush where the reporter threw the shoe at him? Could you imagine if somebody threw a shoe at Biden? He'd be dead.
He's not moving.
It'd fucking kill him.
Or even worse, our guy. The meme, going for president. He was on the front line with King when he was younger. The fucking dude, man. The politician guy.
John.
No, the older one that might have died if he would have got elected. Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. Old scarf man.
Yeah,
Okay,
there you go.
yeah.
God damn it, David.